Hey everybody. So I'm going to try and show you how to, if you've got PowerPoint 2016, and if you've got your PowerPoint, opened up in there, I'm going to show you how to add narration to it and then save it as a video. So let's have a look. It can make it a lot easier rather than going through and adding sound later on and converting it later on with some sort of video software and stuff. Let's see if we can just do it just like we were presenting it, ourselves. So, let's see here. Let me double check something. Okay. So, this is only a part of a much bigger presentation, and I just took out a couple of slides. So, what you first need to do, obviously, open up your presentation, and you're going to go to slideshow, and you're going to do record slideshow. And I'm going to do record from beginning. Now, let me click this here. Once I click start recording, I'm going to start speaking as though I'm actually doing the slideshow, okay? So bear with me here. Hopefully that won't be too confusing or anything like that. I don't have any audio on here yet, and so this is all going to be new narration. And I'm also not going to do exactly what I would have said in this presentation. I'm just going to give you like a quick overview for it. So let's begin recording and we'll go from there. So this presentation is going to be about what you can do with Google Sheets and what you can do with the data in your classroom. And of course you could use Excel, you could use another spreadsheet program, but I like to focus on Google Sheets because it's got this great functionality in terms of collaboration. I won't focus too much on that. Let's continue on to the first section. So part of what we do involves the initial analysis of the student work, and it's very important that you, of course, keep good scores, that you're consistent with your grading, that you're consistent with your students, and from class to class. We can look at things like quizzes, we can look at things like homeworks, we can compare the two. What's important is that the relevant performance metrics are reported on. If the performance metrics are irrelevant, then they shouldn't be reported on, and any performance metrics which are relevant should be reported on. This is just showing you basically two lines. One of them you see here is the quiz averages, and one of them you see is the homework participation averages. Now these are averages across the entire class, and this is over time, but by time here we've got units. And so in this case, each unit would take about a week. So this is around 11 weeks of schoolwork, probably 12 with holidays and such. And then what you see here are two trend lines. So we've got a trend line trending downward for homework, which is trending downward more quickly than what the quiz average trend line is trending. However, both of them are headed downwards. And so, you can easily see here that if the students were to pick up their homework averages and try to bring that back up, that their quiz averages are probably going to come up as well. All right. So, I'm done presenting now. So we have just recorded audio for that slideshow. Now, let's have a look at it. So let's double check and make sure that we like it. So we can do from beginning. So this presentation is going to be about what you can do with Google Sheets and what you can do with the data in your classroom. And of course you could use, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. You could use another. So part of what we do involves the initial analysis of the student work. I'm going to skip ahead some more. We can look at, this is just showing. All right, so we're good with the slideshow. We've got narrations put into it. We've got the slides the way that we want it. Presumably I said everything I wanted to say, which I didn't, but this is just an example. So you've taken your slideshow, you've gone up here to record slideshow, and you've added narration to it. Along with adding narration, when you advanced the slides, you also added in the timing that you wanted for those slides. Now, excuse me, that can be tough because to go through the presentation all in one shot for some people is difficult, but if you practice it once or twice, you won't have too much of an issue. So we've got timing, we've got narration, we've got the slides. In essence, we've got all the content that we need. So now what we need to do is come over here to File. I'm going to click off the camera here. Come over here to File, come down to Export. We want to create a video. Now, we can drop down to 720p, we can keep it at 1080p. There is no sense in going to 4K unless you've got images that really require it, and even then, only if it's intended to be displayed on a 4K display. I would say 1080p or 720p, and really, storage is cheap enough, stick with 1080p. Now this says use recorded timings and narrations. If there are no narrations, then it will just default to 5 seconds. Let's see here. You can choose don't use recorded timings and narrations. You can choose to record them here, of course, and you can preview them as well. We're going to use the recorded ones. We can change this to say 15 seconds if we want to. So in that case, if there's a slide where I do not speak, where I have not recorded a narration, I click the arrow over and clicked it over again, then it's going to give 15 seconds for that slide. So I don't have any of those slides. We're good with this. Let's do create video. So you see it's already going to save it as an MP4 video. Now, my original presentation was saved on the desktop. This is the name of it. It's going to give it the same name, just with a different file extension, with the MP4 file extension. So let's do save. You see down here, it is creating the video. Hopefully that won't take too long here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause this, and we'll come back when the video is created. Alright, so you can see that the video has been made, so I'm going to close out of this. Well, I'm going to minimize this. You see the video is right down here, so let me get my face out of here. Let's have a look at the video. So this presentation is going to be about what you can do with Google Sheets and what you can do with the data in your classroom. And of course you could use, so you see the video is about 2 minutes and 11 seconds long. That's based on the timings of the narrations that I put in. So basically, when I clicked advanced slide and then I began to talk, as soon as it went to the new slide, it started counting it. And when I clicked to the slide after that, the time in between is how long it chose for each of those slides. So I think I had 4 slides, probably something like 30 seconds each. That's all that there is to it. And if you look at the file, right click, properties, so we've got an MP4 file, which you can share, you can give out to people, you can put on YouTube, it's easy. It's only 30 megabytes in size because I'm guessing this probably isn't very high frames per second. It shouldn't need to be, but the quality is still good. Oh, I think it did say at 30 frames per second, my mistake, 30 frames per second, so normal. And this one's 1080p. You can see the default setting, which you might be able to change, I'm not sure, but 175 kilobit per second, stereo, 44.1 kilohertz, standard audio stuff. Standard audio, standard video, it's a regular MP4, you can do whatever you want to with it. That's how you take with PowerPoint 2016, and I'm sure 2019, but I don't believe that you can export to an MP4 quite so easily, at least pre-2016. So I don't think you can do this with 2013. So if you have PowerPoint 2016, if you have your presentation made, you already know what you're going to say, you can simply bang out the presentation just like you're giving it to a crowd. In doing so, you would be recording your voice for narration. you would be adding in the timings automatically when you click next, when you advance the slide, and afterwards you can export it to an MP4 video and be done with your PowerPoint right there. No need to deal with PPSX junk, no need to deal with converting from one format to another. That would be the real-time recording right there, and so there's also no need to worry about real-time recording it after the fact by watching it. So hopefully that wasn't too super confusing. Again, you need the slides created, ready to be presented. Obviously you need to know what you're going to say. You need PowerPoint 2016, and with that it's pretty quick and easy to automate. So let me know what questions you got. Hopefully this is helpful for some people. Thanks. Bye.